So welcome back to the Qomplex Entertainment Group. Today I'm discussing something very, very important. Probably the most used device by all creatives, hard drive. So today I'm going over different drives that I've used over the years, what combinations and what setup that I have that I'm currently using today, what solutions I have found to work best in my workflow, and I need a good storage solution, especially in 2024. There's so many options out there, and I got a couple different brands here that we're going to go over, and I'll tell you right now, just again, how I've kind of progressed, and I'm using almost all of them, but we'll get more into it. So let's check this out. So starting from left to right, this is the 2 terabyte. Shoot, what is this? Matter of fact, 2 terabyte backup plus slim from Seagate. 2 terabyte G drive from none other than G drive SSD. This is actually the OWC Express 4M2 enclosure, but what I have inside is the crucial 2 terabyte NVMe Express, or NVMe. This is the SanDisk Professional Pro Blade Station with, in this case, SanDisk Professional Pro Blade 4 terabyte. For these two drives, these are just your regular USB connectors. This one is actually USB-C. They do have a cable where you can go USB-C back to USB-A. This one, the Seagate, does not have that option. As I get into these other two, a bit of a different case with them because, again, the drives, these are just the enclosures which connect to the computer, but the actual hard drives are within them. So for this one, I'll just go ahead and show. I'll open the enclosure up. Come on here. There we go. So from here, see there's a nice fan within this one, and I'll talk more about the fan in a second. You would simply take the 2 screws off the sides here, pop the fan off, I'll loosen the screw. Oops. All right, so it sits down, and you proceed to tighten this back down. And again, I have 4 of them. You simply put the fan back on. Tighten everything back down. Reinsert the case. Lock it down. There you go. A little bit of steps to get this in, but once it's in, it's enclosed, power it up. This is actually connected. There's 2 USB-C connectors here, and they also give you a display port if you want a daisy chain so that you're not losing too many ports on your computer. This is powered by a DC-in adapter or power supply. Plug this in. So this is not bus powered, whereas these two are powered directly from your computer. All right, SanDisk. If I go to the connectors here, this one is powered by a 100-watt power supply, which is clearly labeled here, power in. And you have two USB-C Thunderbolt connectors. I'm actually using the Thunderbolt 3 cable for this one. I was using a Thunderbolt 4 for this one to try to boost up the speed, but pretty much got the same transfer speeds. Now this, I don't have to take the enclosure out. There's nothing I need to unscrew. There's a power button here. All you simply have to do for this one is insert the drive. Slides right in. Slides right in. Done. Powered on. Go. All right, so let's switch gears here as I share screen and actually show you guys speed test on each one of these drives, just so that you can, get a visual sense as we have compared all four solutions here, and you guys can see what the speeds are like. So I have up here the good old Blackmagic disk speed test, and let's just go through these. So I'll start with the Seagate drives first, and I'll start with the Creative Drive backup, because again the backup is actually pointing to the Seagate. And let's start. Again, even the speed test on these drives goes a little bit slower, but again, these drives are regular spinning drives. These are not solid state. All right, just reading it a little bit faster, but all right, now let's move on to the G drive. Check the speed on this one. So as you can see in the speed test here, the G drive was a significant leap when I came from the Seagate drives to the G drives. In terms of speed, this is over 50%, it's over 200%. We're seeing more about, there's over 300% difference. So as you can see from the G drives, this is a significant improvement when I moved from the Seagate to the G drive. Again, as we're seeing read-write speeds of 354 write and 388 read. Again, vast improvement. So I was pretty much, super happy when I did move over to the G drives. At the time, they were a bit prone. So as you can see from the read-write speeds on the G drive, these are significantly faster than the Seagate. And again, when I was using the G drives, this was what I was utilizing as my main hard drives for, writing data and retrieving it. Had all my sample libraries on here, and all of my DAW files were also saved to this drive when I was utilizing it as my main hard drive. All right, now moving on to the crucial solid state drives within the OWC Express 4M2 enclosure, and the speed test on these. And again, I have 2 of the drives in RAID, so this is the speed actually of 2 drives, 2 terabyte drives in RAID. Alright, so as you can see from the read and write on those, I did get a lot more performance again when I switched in this case over to the NVMe drives within the OWC enclosure. So you're seeing write speeds here of 640 and read speeds of 1456. So again, coming from the G drive, I did see a significant performance boost on this one. I'll go over more details on why I actually switched, but let's go ahead and test out the SanDisk. Alright, now running the speed test on the SanDisk. 4 terabyte drives. These are the SanDisk ProBlade within the SanDisk ProBlade enclosure. Alright, again, you see significant improvement here. I'm actually now getting write speeds of 2380 and read speeds of 2835. Again, significant improvement over the OWC enclosure. And this is the main drive that I'm using now. Now, in terms of the OWC versus the SanDisk, if you listen back as I was actually showing the speed tests, I had the OWC plugged in and it was on my desk and it wasn't that far from the mic. Now, what I found was that the OWC enclosure, now the drives worked fine, but the enclosure itself turned out to be the fan was always running. So there was always this rumble of the fan in the background. And I would try to keep the enclosure itself away from, my computer and the mic as much as possible. But there was always this background hum because of the enclosure and the fans, which in my opinion were pretty loud if I compare it to the SanDisk. Now the SanDisk drives, the fans do kick in, every now and then or sometimes, but they're not running all the time. Like again, right now, it's plugged in the back there, but the fans aren't running. Whereas even if I wasn't, really recording anything or utilizing the drive for just reading and writing, the OWC fans are always running. And, depending on where you might want to place your enclosure, that might be a deal breaker for you if you're always finding yourselves picking up background noise. But not only from the speed did I, appreciate the upgrade from the change from the OWC to the SanDisk, but also there's no more background noise. I have provided links to all of these drives in the below. That's pretty much all I got for today. I hope this was helpful to somebody out there. Let me know below in the comment section if you did find this, beneficial to you, and we'll talk next time. Peace.
Yes. Qomplex.